He wasn't the loudest, he wasn't the flashiest, but without Scottie Pippen, there is no Chicago Bulls dynasty. Before the banners, before the rings, before the world called him one of the greatest defenders in NBA history, Scottie Maurice Pippen was just a quiet kid from Hamburg, Arkansas, a town with fewer than 10,000 people, no big arenas, no scouts in the stands, no TV cameras waiting for him to rise. He was the youngest of 12 children in a working-class home. Money was scarce, dreams were expensive, and life wasn't gentle. His father suffered a stroke when Scottie was young, leaving him partially paralyzed and unable to work. His older brother Donnie was also in a wheelchair. So responsibility came early, and childhood came late. Most kids dreamed of being stars. Scottie dreamed of helping his family. He didn't grow up surrounded by privilege. He grew up surrounded by struggle, the kind that makes a person either break or become unbreakable. Scottie wasn't a 5-star recruit. He wasn't even a 1-star recruit. In fact, he wasn't recruited at all. He didn't get scholarship offers from big-name schools. So he enrolled at the University of Central Arkansas, a tiny NAIA school, not as a future star, but as the team manager. He washed jerseys. He swept floors. He cleaned up sweat after practice. He wasn't on the court. He was wiping it. But every day, Scottie stayed after practice, shooting alone in the quiet gym, hours after everyone else left. And then, the miracle. The skinny 6'1" kid started growing, and growing, and growing. In what seemed like a single summer, 6'1" became 6'7". His hands got bigger, his wingspan expanded, his coordination stayed sharp. He didn't just grow taller, he grew into who he was meant to be. Coaches couldn't ignore him anymore. He went from walk-on to starter, to star, to NBA prospect. A kid who wasn't even supposed to be on the team became the best player in the school's history. The 1987 NBA draft changed everything. The Seattle Supersonics selected Scottie Pippen with the 5th overall pick and immediately traded him to the Chicago Bulls, a team with a young superstar named Michael Jordan. But something important happened. Jordan didn't look at Pippen as a sidekick. He looked at him as a weapon, a partner, the missing piece. Scottie didn't show up trying to take over. He showed up trying to get better, to learn, to grow. And slowly, the quiet kid from Arkansas evolved into the most versatile player in basketball. He guarded point guards. He guarded centers. He ran the offense. He played defense like he was born for it. And when Jordan needed help, Pippen was always there. No ego, no complaints, just work. People talk about the triangle offense. They talk about Jordan scoring. They talk about Phil Jackson's Zen mind. But Pippen was the engine that made everything run. He was a 6'8", defensive genius who moved like a guard and thought like a coach. Full court pressure? Pippen did it, stopping the opponent's best player. Pippen did it, helping, rotating, switching, stealing, blocking. Pippen did everything. 8 times he made all defensive first team. Twice he led the league in steals. And yet he didn't chase the spotlight. Where others tried to be famous, Pippen tried to be better. The 1991 season changed the world. The Bulls beat the Pistons, the same Pistons who bullied them for years, and Scottie played them fearlessly. That was the moment Chicago transformed from a talented team to a championship team. 1991 champions. 1992, champions. 1993, champions. A three-peat, a dynasty. A moment in history that will never be repeated the same way again. And through it all, Scotty was the glue, the balance, the stabiliser. While Jordan soared in the sky, Pippen held everything together on the ground. Then, in 1993, Michael Jordan retired. The Chicago Bulls were supposed to fall apart. They didn't, because Scottie Pippen stepped forward and showed the world that he was not just a sidekick, but a superstar. He led the team in scoring, assists, steals, and leadership. He became an MVP candidate. He carried Chicago deeper than anyone expected. That season proved something important. Scottie Pippen wasn't made great by Jordan. Scottie Pippen made himself great. And when Jordan returned, their partnership became stronger than ever. Another three-peat, another dynasty, another chapter written in gold. The world remembers Jordan's game winners, but they forget who guarded 5 positions, who disrupted the opponent's entire offense, who made the triangle offense flow like water. It was Scotty, always Scotty. Quiet, unselfish, relentless. The backbone of the greatest team ever assembled. Statistics can't measure Scottie Pippen. You can't capture him in points per game. You can't trap him in highlights. His greatness lives in the details, the spaces between the plays, in the rotations nobody else saw, in the defensive reads nobody else recognized, in the sacrifices nobody else would make. He didn't need credit. He didn't need fame. He only needed one thing: to win. After leaving Chicago, Scotty played with the Rockets, the Trail Blazers, and returned for one last season with the Bulls. But his legend wasn't built on where he ended. It was built on where he started. A kid who swept floors became a 6-time champion. A walk-on who became a star. A teammate who became an icon. And a quiet presence who changed the game louder than most superstars ever could. Scottie Pippen didn't need the spotlight. He wasn't designed to be the hero in the posters. But he became the hero in the story. The story of the Chicago Bulls. The story of the 1990s. The story of the greatest dynasty ever built. He didn't chase glory. He created it. A true legend whose greatness was never loud, but always undeniable.